Hello everyone, just a quick video on some different recovery methods that athletes use after performance and training. They obviously all have the desired goal to return an athlete back to their pre-exercise conditions. Now, one of the first ways that we can recover is via an active recovery. And active recovery is really good to help remove metabolic byproducts, because what actually happens is during an active recovery, our oxygen rate is kept at a normal, greater than normal level, and that increased amount of oxygen helps remove any of the byproducts. Another way we can actually recover is via a passive recovery, and this is really good for um, rebuilding phosphocreatine so that we can actually then do explosive movements really quickly. Within about 30 seconds we can rebuild most of, or 70% of our PC stores, so that we can continually do those high explosive activities. After those two types of recovery methods, there are other things that you can do in the immediately or days after competition to speed up recovery, and one of those is quite commonly it's massage. Now, massage seeks to help with blood flow. As you know, if blood flow is happening within the body, venous pooling is prevented, and it helps remove any waste products that have accumulated. Immediately after exercise and through in the days to hours to days after competition, people obviously consume a lot of fluids in the form of water, just to get their body back to normal levels. And because obviously water is used during the process of energy breakdown and during sport and activity. And we also introduce sports drinks that contain electrolytes. Now, electrolytes have sodium and potassium, which are really important to get back into the body at the end of competition. Carbohydrates and nutrition is also a really important thing. Immediately after exercise, ingesting carbohydrates in a high GA form, so like pizzas and pastas and so forth, helps speed up the glycogen store replacement, which has probably been depleted throughout an extended period of activity. And if you do this relatively soon, within the first, say, hour of finishing, or the first 2 hours, you speed up the body's restoration of that glycogen, meaning that you can get back on the training pitch a little bit sooner, and train at a higher intensity than someone who basically has no carbohydrates immediately after competition. Another really good thing that you can do is obviously ice different parts of the body. Now, by doing that, you actually vasoconstrict blood vessels to actually limit the effects of damage that might have occurred, to speed up that recovery process. And contrast bathing, really popular. It's where people obviously immerse their body in hot water and follow it with cold water and continually do that back and forth. And what happens there is, when you go into the cold water, the body vessels vasoconstrict, and when you go into the warm water, they vasodilate, and that creates a bit of a pump for the blood vessels and the blood and waste products around the body, helping you to get those out and obviously get back to normal as soon as possible. And compression, you'll see athletes wearing skins and really tight clothing to try and encourage that blood flow throughout the body. And usually, AFL players, they wear compression garments while they travel. It's pretty much mandatory for most clubs to wear a compression garment after and before the game to get blood flow happening and to prevent venous pooling, which is obviously detrimental to their recovery. Okay, so there's a few methods that people use. Really good athletes are using a combination of all these things, and other things as well, to try and recover as soon as possible, so that they can get back out, they can train, they can be ready for the next time that they're needed in their activity.